Hi, welcome to the Montgomery County Sentinel. I'm Brian Karam, and this is Montgomery County Sentinel's Undercover. Each week we're going to take a look at news you won't find anywhere else, brought to you by a 157-year-old publication that has its finger on the pulse of our community for the last 157 years. This week we're going to take a look at some medical news, some sports, and a little bit of fun, features, and entertainment. We're going to start out with some medical news, brought to you by our favorite medical reporter, Wendy Leonard.
Guess what? The measles are making a comeback in the United States, and that's not good. The measles are a highly contagious viral illness that can lead to severe complications and even death. Here's the thing. While most parents tend to think of measles simply as an unpleasant itchy rash, the reality is the potential complications are dangerous. I'm not talking about the 20% who will get an ear infection or diarrhea. That's annoying, but it's treatable. What I'm referring to are usually very young children who can develop encephalitis, an inflammation of the brain that can lead to permanent brain damage and even death. Also, 1 in 20 who catch the measles will get pneumonia, the most common cause of measles-related death. In fact, between 1989 and 1991, there were more than 55,000 reported cases of measles in the United States, and more than 100 people died. More recently, during the first 19 weeks of 2011, there were 118 cases reported, including several confirmed cases right here in Montgomery County. How contagious? If an infected person just sneezes or coughs in a room, 90% of susceptible people entering the room will get the measles. The reason for the stunningly high transmission rate is infected mucus droplets, coughed or sneezed, remain contagious in the air and on surfaces for up to 2 hours. Most parents don't even know their child has the measles until the telltale rash appears. But those kids are highly contagious 4 days before that. Lastly, the measles are caused by a virus, not a bacteria, so antibiotics don't work. There is no cure for measles, but there is a safe and effective vaccine. Now more than ever, we need to redouble our efforts to make sure that as many people as possible get vaccinated.
Thanks, Wendy. Coming up next, we've got a sports story for you from one of the best sports reporters in the Montgomery County area. Brandy Sims has been around for years covering local sports, and he has a story of a little school that could. The Avalon School hasn't been around long, not even a decade, and now, for the first time, a D1 athlete. Brandy Sims has more.
The Avalon Black Knights got some good news this week when junior running back and defensive back Rashid Ibrahim received his first Division I scholarship offer. Now, Ibrahim is well respected by both his coaches and his teammates and has rushed for over 1,000 yards in each of the past 2 seasons. He's averaged nearly 10 yards per carry. Now, we caught up with Rashid earlier, and this is what he had to say.
All right. So, Rashid, got to ask you, first athlete in Avalon to get a D1 offer. How's it feel?
It feels pretty good. It's wonderful. It's been paying off. I've been working really hard for it. So it's a wonderful opportunity for the Avalon family, myself, the team, and my family as well.
This is quite a landmark for the school. It's the first athletic scholarship of any sort for any sport in the history of the school.
Now, in coaching news around the county, Seneca Valley head coach Tom Sheehan has resigned after 8 seasons at the Germantown Public School. Now, Sheehan led Seneca Valley to 2 state semifinal appearances and compiled over 100 wins during his tenure. Now, word on the street is that Seneca Valley assistant coach Nathan Lewis could be in line to replace Sheehan. And of course, Lewis was once head coach at Seneca Valley's Germantown rival, Northwest High School. Now, over at the Bullis School in Potomac, Kira Orr recently stepped down as the head girls basketball coach. Now, Rod Hairston, who's been a coaching fixture in Prince George's County for years, could be in line to replace Orr at Bullis. Now, Hairston led Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Greenbelt to 5 consecutive Maryland 4A state titles and is currently an assistant coach at Wise High School in Upper Marlboro. This has been Brandy Sims. For the latest sports news, stay tuned right here and be sure to visit us online at thesentinel.com.
Thanks a lot, Brandy. And now, our local favorite social philosopher, Rob Mayer, solves the ultimate question. 1 tire or 2?
What's up, everybody? It's Rob Mayer here. I have a bit of a dispute with the girlfriend. I need your help. I need your advice. Long story short, my car was in the shop. I needed to borrow her car. I misjudged a turn. I hit this curb a little too hard. I messed up her right front tire. I fessed up. I said, look, babe, I'm sorry, my bad. I'll get you a new tire. She says, cool. The next day, she gives me the estimate. It's $350. I'm like, for one tire? She goes, no, it's for two tires. I'm like, but I messed up one. Why would you get two? Because, well, you have to replace two at a time, so they're even. Suddenly, she's a mechanic, okay? So I'm like, really? You have to get, that's what it is? Because I've got one tire many times. I don't need to drive straight. It's overrated. I bought just one windshield wiper. I bought just one sock before, okay? One tire is nothing. So my question to you is, am I responsible for the one tire that I messed up, or am I responsible for two? Because as she puts it, you have to get two at a time. Now, to be honest, I'm a coward, so I got her the two new tires, and so she has two tires now, and I have just one testicle. But it's true love. What can you say? So who's right? Who's wrong? Give me your comments. Let me know. Thank you.
Thanks. And as we head into the end of the evening, it's important that you understand our political and our editorial bent. It's real simple. There is none. If there's news to print, we're going to put it out there. We're fiercely independent, and we don't care, right, left, center. If it's facts, we'll print them. If it's opinion, we'll label it. We owe that to you, and we expect you to give that back to us. Now, on to my favorite part, of course, my opinion. You call this mess Christianity? If history teaches us anything, then the Christian faith should be among the most tolerant. However, we have had the Crusades and the Inquisition, so obviously the heat of passion warps sunlight of reason. Now, recently, there was a priest here in Montgomery County who denied communion to a woman who was at her mother's funeral. Barbara Johnson came up from the district, showed up at St. John's Newman's Catholic Church, and was first in line for communion, and was refused communion because she's a lesbian. Now, I don't know about you, but turn the other cheek and do unto others actually means something to me. And I don't want to hear how you're a devout Christian. My grandfather could put Opus Dei to shame. He was a very devout Christian. Every summer, my father and I had to go on retreats with my grandfather, who drilled the Catholic faith into me, much as Sergeant Carter drilled the Marines into Gomer Pyle, and with about as much effectiveness. But nonetheless, he did teach me something, and I remember asking him about do unto others. And he said to me that, son, it's very easy to be kind to people who think as you do. It's very hard to show Christianity to those who think other than you do, but that's the mark of a true Christian. Nowadays, the intolerance and the bitterness that we have in society seeps through everywhere, whether it's in politics or in religion, and it doesn't belong there. If you're truly a believer, then act like a Christian. Reverend Barry Nestow from the Archdiocese addressed this issue and extended some courtesy and kindness to Barbara. I don't know her and I don't know Barry, but thankfully that was done. You see, I've lost a parent, and I know what it's like to have to go through the funeral, eulogize him, and then bury someone who you care deeply about. I had a priest who made me feel good about that. Thank God he didn't come up to me and say, hey, get out of my church, you're a godless communist reporter. Thank you. And now, some music. Thanks for joining us for this first episode of Montgomery County Sentinel's Montgomery Undercover. We'd like to hear from you through video blogs, letters, comments on our website. We'll let you know we're going to be back every week, and we want to put the news out for you in Montgomery County. Thanks again for joining us. See you next time.